wait, there's heaven.
Oh
I
my
needed
goodness.
swoop right there. This is how we do. How are you, bro? How was your Christmas, New Year's? My friends, we took a week off last week. Griffin deserves some hard time off. Guy has been brutally busy on Underdog Fantasy, making many dollars. Am I correct?
That's what I tell myself.
That's what we tell our fans here in Lens World. And then here we are, week 18. Many a games to predict, lots of opining to do. In all honesty, Griff, last week you were 72% winning percentage. I was like
wow.
not quite as good, like more in the 67.952% range there. But I look to regain footing here in the final week of this here season. And of course, heaven is yet ahead because the Philadelphia Eagles have somehow miraculously, is that a word? Clinched a playoff spot in these here playoffs, Griff. How excited are you, bro?
How can we review the NFL's tiebreaker rules? Because somehow my 49ers beat your Eagles, correct?
Barely. But yes.
Yeah. But somehow the Niners aren't in the playoffs. Yet. Right. It's all very confusing. I guess there's some weird thing with like if three teams have a tiebreaker, or if three teams are tied, it goes to these weird tiebreaker rules. So therefore the Eagles are guaranteed in. It's all very confusing.
It's Philadelphia freedom at its best. You know who else feels really free this week? Is Antonio Brown. We're going to get to that debacle in Tampa Bay and why I want the Birds to fly south to play the Bucks in the first round. Would be a dream matchup, and why I'm going to tell you I think the Birds have a really good shot against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Griff, you've aired your grievances about the 49ers. Fear not, my friend. I believe that they will be in the postseason. Never fear, Jimmy G is here. But let's talk about it, man. We got a couple Saturday games. The first one, AFC matchup, 4:30 Eastern time, kicking it off as it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs rolling in to the Mile High City at 11-5, taking on the 7-9 Broncos, who really, let's be honest, don't have much to play for. Kansas City shocked last week, absolutely shocked. Tennessee with that 1 seed. Kansas City still fighting for it. They have an opportunity to get it back. But what do you think about this game? Any shot that Denver shocks the world here and beats the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 18?
No, it's not happening. There's rumblings that Fangio, the coach of the Broncos, might be out of a job here in a couple days. The Chiefs, like you said, actually still have something to play for, and I think they're going to take care of business. This is a straight business transaction type of game. They're going to go to Denver, do what they're supposed to do, and take care of it, and see how it all shakes out in terms of seeding. But I fully trust the Chiefs to win this game.
I thought I'd throw you off the scent there with that mystique of mine, but it didn't work, Griff. It didn't work. The second game on Saturday, which I thought at the beginning of the year, Griff, I thought this game right here is going to be for the NFC East title. And it's not. And here's the deal. Everybody has COVID on both sides, or they just want to rest him and they're using this mystery virus as an excuse. But either way, tons of people missing on both sides. It's a throwaway game for the Eagles, unless some things happen. But I'm completely content with the 7 seed. Now, I believe the word on the street is if the Rams lose, and the Eagles win, then the Eagles play the Bucks instead of the Rams. But there's a lot of if and thens here. But as far as this game goes, 11-5, Dallas can move up in seeding here. And although they're out of that 1 seed potential for that first round bye, they can still seed better. What's your gut on this game? And how do you think this game is going to translate into the postseason morale of both of these NFC East teams?
Yeah, I think the Cowboys are going to win this game. The Eagles might be one of the worst teams in NFL history to make the playoffs. And it's going to be proven this week. I mean, Dallas isn't a very good team either. Dak, something's up with him still, right? I mean, I think we all agree something's going on. Is he injured? What's really going on there? I like Dallas to take care of business in this game. The Eagles, they'll continue to have a clipped wing, if you will, as they go into the playoffs. It doesn't matter who they play in the first round, whether it's the Rams, the Bucks. It doesn't matter. They're going to lose in the first round anyways. So get ready for a loss this week and then a loss again next week to end the season. I mean, a good job making the playoffs, I guess, with a guy who probably shouldn't be playing quarterback. But no doubt Cowboys win this game.
Lord, forgive him. He knows
And
not what he does.
What are we doing with this game on Saturday night? Of all, we always have to put the NFC East game prime time every single time. They had their choice to put any game on, and they're going to put this game on. Why not the Niners and Rams Saturday night?
Well, let me explain it to you. You have America's team versus Dallas, and so when you have America's team, the Philadelphia Eagles, you got to flex them to Saturday night. You feel all right. You got this game, then you got SNL with a bunch of unfunny liberals, and I digress here. We don't want to get to that stage. But, Griff, I think you're really throwing a lot of unnecessary shade here at the gates behind me, my friend. You see glory is yet ahead. For these Philadelphia Eagles, they're coming in hot. I mean, look, they started the season, 2-5, 3-6. Everybody threw the baby out with the bathwater. But nobody, my friend, puts baby in a corner. Baby almost got lambasted by fans at that miserable excuse for a stadium. Landover, Maryland. I don't even know where they play. They don't even know where they play. Fans are falling. It's a total mess up there. That whole family is a total mess. And listen, I got to be honest with you. The unnamed Washington, soon-to-be Washington Commanders, from what I hear, they should have forgotten about a name change, and they should have rebuilt that stadium. It's absolutely terrible. Did you see that video of Jalen Hurts almost getting crushed by those obese fans?
I did. He's lucky, but like at the same time, though, maybe that would have been a better case scenario for the Eagles, so they could actually put in a real quarterback and maybe actually have a shot Saturday night and then in the playoffs. But instead, they're going to roll with Jalen Hurts, who, like, what's the point? Oh, you make the playoffs, but you're out in the first round. Like, was it worth it?
Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. And listen, he's going to work it. It's your fucking dumb, yeah, come on, or whatever Missy Elliott says. And here's the deal, Griffin. The Eagles are not an early out. This is a team that can beat anybody in the NFC. And here's why. They have turned the ship around. They're running the ball. It's plug and chug. And they're finding ways to win games. And what has Radio Griff said in the past? Run it back, intern. The good teams find ways to win. And there you go. I mean, the audio is crisp, clear, and concise, Griff. I have no reason to believe that the Philadelphia Eagles lose in Week 18 to Dallas, no matter who plays. Minshew Mania, Jalen Hurts, I know you feel some kind of way about him, but he's proven himself, and he's finding ways to get first downs, move the chains, and move them into scoring position, and they've been scoring enough points to win games. And last time I checked, Griff, at the end of the day, all that matters is scoring more points than your opponent, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, enjoy those victories you've had, because you're not going to taste it again until, later this fall. So,
well, that's your opinion, and you're entitled to it, sir. But I really do hope, honestly, that this team goes far. It'd be fun to see that underdog story 2.0 kick in. And then let's move it to Sunday, 1:00. Green Bay locked into that 1 seed. They take it on the road, playing Detroit. Obviously, no reason to even play any starters. This is a game that I think Detroit can win. Listen, they're not going to rest anybody. Why would they? They're going for a win to say they were able to beat a division rival in the Packers, the 1 seed. And like years from now, they'll look back and they won't realize that all the starters are rested. But this could be a game that Detroit wins. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. No, Detroit needs this game. They need momentum going into the offseason. Like you said, is Aaron even going to play? Has that come out? He probably is to kind of clinch that MVP vote, right? Most likely. At least he plays the first half. What do you think?
Like a preseason game. I don't know. It's like they want to give his toe some extra rest. And so this is a great opportunity. You're locked into the seed. So why would you risk injury, life and limb, for a personal award? This would really be interesting if LaFleur and Rodgers have had an actual conversation about this. Does he care that much about MVP? Does he? Because I think this year is a year that Aaron Rodgers is discarding the discount double check, and he's all about the gold, baby. He wants that Lombardi back in Green Bay.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think he's on a mission to win it, and I think there's a very high likelihood win it in terms. I mean the Lombardi Trophy. I think there's a very high likelihood that ends up happening this year. No matter if the Packers sit anyone, I still think they're going to pull out this game against the Lions. They're just a better football team. I mean, they're the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl, right? I mean, so even benching a few guys here and there, or Aaron only playing maybe a quarter or two, I still like the Packers in this game.
Oh, so you're going with the Packers in Week 18?
Yeah.
Okay, because before you said you could see Detroit winning. I'm sticking to Detroit, man.
I can see them winning, but it's not going to happen. I can see a lot of things happening.
You see it, but then you don't grasp. You gotta. What do they say? You gotta claim it, something like that. I don't know if kids
manifest it, claim it, and sit
all
on
that. All that weird Illuminati crap. Let's move on. Let's get to it. The rest of the Sunday games. Indy, 9-7, taking it down to Florida, 2-14. Jacksonville. Lots of questions there with coach openings in the offseason. But as far as Week 18 goes, I'm rolling with the Colts, man. They need a win here. They're in the playoffs for the time being, but some things can change. And obviously, they could better their seeding with a win. So I'm going to take the Colts on the road. How about you, sir?
Yeah, the Colts will win this game. Jacksonville's a dumpster fire. The players are ready to get out of there, go on vacation, and, figure out who the next coach is going to be. I think they're checked out. I like the Colts.
Daniel Snyder has decided to, instead of, risk life and limb of any quarterback currently playing for the Giants, because let's be honest, they're down to Glennon. I mean, who is this guy? He's an absolute wash. He's been stealing money from the league forever, worse than Sam Bradford back in the day. But I digress. Daniel Snyder and his crap Washington team taking it on the road, playing the Giants, 6-10 at 4-12, division rivals. This is going to be one of those beat 'em up 6-5 ball games, like a high scoring baseball game. But I'm going to take the Giants at home, man. You got to win the final game at home if you're the New York Football Giants. What say you, Griff?
Yeah, I mean, what a terrible football game. I mean, why even play it? What's the point of even playing this game? Just give the guys the week off. That might be like maybe the players union should think about that next time. Like if we're going to extend the season, because we're going to eventually add one more game. There's going to be 18 games eventually. Well, maybe if the last week or two, if the game that you're supposed to play in has no effect or impact on anything else, you don't have to play it. Like, what's the point? It's all for stats. Like, with that said, though, I like Washington in this game. They've got momentum. They've had, there's the stadium issue. There's the new name change thing they're getting ready to announce here in a couple weeks. I think they have momentum on their side in terms of PR. So because of that, somehow they're going to win this game because they're excited about being called the Groundhogs.
I was going to ask you, what's your read on their new team name? Do you think it could be the Groundhogs? That would be kind of cute, wouldn't it? Like, did they see their shadow? Will they make the playoffs this year? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they'd go with Groundhogs, right? But it makes you wonder. So maybe there's been the name Red Hogs thrown around, or just the Hogs, because that's what they call some of their fans, right? Hogs or something. Yeah. But like you said, I think Commanders or Admirals seems to be. I don't know. I can't. I think I'm leaning towards Commanders because they put that list out, right?
The thing about it is, how can you be called such a awesome name like Commander or General or something, and then be a 6-win team? It's just kind of reflective of our current administration. So maybe it does make sense after all. Go with Commanders and Chiefs. By the way, I take the Chiefs in that matchup. But let's move on. Chicago at Minnesota. Meaningless game. God knows. Minnesota's had their chances this year, man. And they just find ways to just squander it. And here they are in another one of those meaningless games that years from now will probably not be played. But Chicago last week, making moves. All right, let's be honest. And I like Chicago on the road. What say you, Griff?
Well, you know, Justin Fields isn't playing this game. He's on the mystery illness list this week. You got two coaches. This very high likelihood this is the last time they both coach for these respective teams. It's gonna be interesting to see Jim Harbaugh in Chicago next year, maybe. Oh man, that would be interesting. I like the Vikings in this game though.
Ooh. All right. Tennessee at Houston, total like bounty gate game for Houston. Am I right? Like, how
Oh,
many
100%.
starters can we take out from Tennessee? Is Tennessee going to be foolish enough to let anybody worthwhile on this roster even touch the field after warmups?
Well, can they still lose? They don't have number one locked in, do they, or do they?
I think it's close. I think they're like a few teams with just a game out. So they still have to win or tie to maintain. So you have the Patriots and Bills both at 10-6 in the AFC East. Then you have the Chiefs at 11-5. So the next team, it's going to be between Buffalo and New England. It would be a tie, right? So there would be tiebreaker procedures for a situation where Buffalo wins or the Patriots win and Tennessee loses. Then you're looking at 3 11-6 teams. And my
Well, what if
brain
the
could not
Chiefs win?
compute that
But
kind
if the
of math.
Chiefs win, if the Chiefs win,
Chiefs
they're the
win,
number
it
one
would be
seed.
12-5. If the Chiefs lose, they'll still win the division because the Chargers are too far behind. Even if the Chargers were to win, they'd be 10-7.
But the Chiefs could take the number one seed if Tennessee loses.
Yes, correct.
And if
I've gone cross-eyed. I can't do this kind of math live on
so
the
yeah,
show.
I think no, you're right. You're right. I mean, Tennessee needs to win this game still, but I think they'll kind of put a half-hearted effort. They'll throw a half-hearted effort at this game, and I think they'll still win though, because Houston. I mean, what do they have to play for at this point?
Draft picks, baby. Lose on purpose. LOP. LOP. That's our new acronym here in the world of wins and Radio Griff. I'm going to take the Titans. They need to win. Even their backups are probably better than 3/4 of the starters for the Texans. So we both agree on that one.
Isn't it crazy though? Isn't it crazy how the AFC, we talk about the Patriots, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Chargers to some extent here and there. But the Tennessee Titans most likely are going to be the number one seed. Like, if you want to go to the Super Bowl, it's going to go through Nashville. Like,
and who would have thought it would be without Derrick Henry?
Without Derrick Henry, and he's supposed to be coming back now. He's coming back to the playoffs.
It was all a ruse. They got it. They got the
It could have
secret
been.
weapon. The whole injury bug, the COVID, the injury. I'm telling you, that's why when I was talking about the Cowboys-Eagles game earlier, all of a sudden you got like 10 Eagles on the COVID list. That's a lot of people at once, right? And I know people say, "Well, dummy, they're in a locker room. This shares space." All the Twitter hacks. But here's the deal: the bottom line is teams have found ways to manipulate this COVID thing, and they're gonna do it, and they should do it because of the league of Goodell and all his goony nonsense. You gotta find ways to win, and that's what they're gonna do. And Griff, this next game to me, am I the only one in the world that wasn't moved to tears by the last home game for Ben Roethlisberger? I mean, I know like the first one to throw a rock, right? But everybody just conveniently forgets that this guy is wrapped up in all sorts of like crazy off the field things with all these girls, and yet somehow he's put up on this pedestal. Meanwhile, a guy who hurt a few pit bulls, spent 2.5 years in federal prison, is still lambasted by a lot of people on the socials. He's just a dog killer. Meanwhile, actual human beings were sexually assaulted, and Ben Roethlisberger is doing his victory lap around Heinz Field like he's freaking Johnny Unitas or something. Come on, let it be equal. Also, what about Kobe's situation? I digress. Please comment.
That was a pretty boring game. I mean, at least like I wasn't super into it. I always put the games on, but I was laying on the couch. I was passed out within 5 minutes. Didn't really, excite me too much. But in this game, they're taking on the Ravens this week. I think they kind of had they spent their last hurrah last week. getting that victory for Big Ben at home. Now they're on the road against Baltimore, and I think he goes out with a whimper here. I think the Ravens take care of business and win this football game.
Agreed. Must win for both teams, but let's be honest. No matter who's playing, Baltimore is going to win this game. Cincinnati, 10-6. The Bengals. How about the Bengals winning the AFC North last week? Joe Burrow in the locker room smoking cigars. Jamar chasing with some Hennessy and all the good stuff that goes along with a good stogie. But they're playing Cleveland, eliminated before their game against the Steelers last week. That's got to be kind of humiliating, right? Like, you didn't even play. It's like getting fired on your day off or something for stealing boxes. Have you ever seen the movie Friday? Guess not. Okay, here's the thing, though. Cincinnati is going to win this game because they have something to play for. And I know the Cleveland Browns have a very proud organization and fan base, blah, 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 all the talking points. But Cincinnati can still improve on their seeding. As we talked about, all these 10-win teams, Griff, now's the time to put the pedal to the metal, Burrow to chase. They're going to play their starters, and I'd look for Cincinnati to roll in the final week of the regular season. What say you?
No, I think so. There's rumors, though, that Burrow might sit. So I don't know who's going to be quarterbacking this game. Like, Baker's out.
Boomer Esiason.
Yeah. So we got Case Keenum versus, is it Boomer Esiason? Is he now?
I think
is he back?
back.
He's back as the backup. Yeah, it'd be interesting. But yeah, I still think Cincinnati a lot more to play for. Burrow might not play the whole game, or he might sit entirely. But I don't think that'll matter. I think the Bengals will still win.
Here's the deal. This next one, Griff, this is one that's we might spend the rest of the show on. San Francisco treat, taking it to Los Angeles to play the Rams, 12-4, hot, red hot, right on Green Bay's heels, but not close enough because they're not going to win the one. See, but they still want to win this game, right? What say you? What's going to happen here? What's your gut tell you? You also have some inside information from what I understand.
My gut says the Niners are going to lose this football game. Kyle Shanahan has owned the Rams since he's taken over the Niners. I don't think Jimmy G has lost to them. But Jimmy G, is he even going to play this game? I still think they're going to roll with Trey Lance this week. Jimmy's been practicing some, but I think they're just trying to throw off the Rams and not let the Rams know what they're going to show up with. Maybe Jimmy starts, maybe Trey starts, but at the end of the day, I think Trey's going to start. And look, Trey made some progress last week. He looked okay. I just don't trust him as much as I trust Jimmy. Jimmy's going to make Jimmy mistakes, throw a dumb pick here or there, but at the end of the day, he's a winner, and he's gotten you there before. And I think once the playoffs start, assuming they make it, Jimmy will be the guy. But here's the thing. They're going to make the playoffs, and it's still possible. They can make the playoffs and lose this game.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, because I'm looking at this chart right here, and they're currently the 6th seed, right? But How does that work if they lose? Because then they'll be 9-8, and if the Saints win, they'll be 9-8. So what does the tiebreaker situation look like? If
the Niners lose and the Saints win, the Saints are in. Now, if the Saints lose, the Niners are in, period.
Oh, man.
So the Niners can lose, and the Saints lose, and the Niners are in. And personally, I think that's what's going to happen. I think our hometown team here in Atlanta, Georgia, the Atlanta Falcons, are going to step up on Sunday. They're going to take care of business against the Saints. They're going to win the football game and put the 49ers in the playoffs. The Niners are going to back their way into the playoffs, I think. I think that's what's going to happen.
All right, now what happens if the Niners and the Saints tie?
I think the Niners are in. The Niners are in with a win or a tie.
What happens? I'm just joking. Listen, I'm just excited for the playoffs to start because I know my team is in no matter what. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
It must be nice. It must be nice.
I feel the light, baby. I feel it. Pass the plate. Here we go. Another game to talk about. No real implications other than a division rivalry. Carolina 5-11. Yeah. Playing the Bucks. Brady probably not going to play. But the big story here is what happened last week. And the story behind the story, Griff, is that Antonio Brown, the real reason he walked off wasn't because he wasn't getting an opportunity to play. It was Bruce Arians saying, "Hey, get back in the game. I want you in the game." He feels, intentionally not giving him the ball so they could avoid paying him the bonuses that came with his contract this year. Right? So for him, I think he understands that there's a business side to this organization, to this league, and he knew he's not getting to get the bonus money. And so he just said, you know what? I have a future in cameo videos. Screw all this nonsense. And sure enough, he's no longer a Buck. And I love how Arians talked about it. He's like, we're not going to talk about him. He's no longer a Tampa Bay Buck. Let's keep it focused on the players that help us win this game. Next question.
Yeah, if he really believes that, though, I come on, man. You think Tampa Bay really cares about $2 million, whatever it was going to be? It was a couple $1,000,000, right? Like, are they really gonna not throw the ball and get this guy involved? When he plays and is good, he's a difference maker. He helped them in the Super Bowl last year. I think he's full of it. The guy has issues, and it's sad. He needs help. I think there's a degree of mental illness, and there's a degree of he's there's ego. He's crazy, and he's doing it for show and entertainment. So I think it's like a terrible combo of both going on, and the guy needs some help. He needs to talk to somebody, and hopefully that happens now, because I don't think he's playing another down in the NFL.
Wow. I could totally see the Cowboys trying to scoop him up. That's the kind of team they are. They're just,
Well, you know who should is the Atlanta Falcons. They're in desperate need of a good wide receiver.
Hey, replace one mental issue with another.
I mean, at least this guy shows up to play, right?
He'll play a half at least. Hey,
at least a half. That's more than Calvin Ridley's giving you.
I would love to be the person who caught his Under Armour, whatever he threw up in the stands, or his wristbands. Like,
right?
Those are going for big time money on eBay right now, dude. What a score that would be. But yeah, I too, I'll take the Bucks at home. But this is the thing, and this is what I said at the top. This is a team right now, Tampa Bay, they're not as strong as their record indicates, right? They've lost some people to injury. They're down in morale. They have people walking off the field now. You got to wonder, is this a distraction enough to keep them focused, right? So I think, to me, this is a team, I don't mind the Eagles playing in the first round. Look, we've already seen them once this year. If we had stopped, I know we woulda, coulda, shoulda, but if we had stopped the Bucks one more time, we would have won that game. So it's within reach. And the Eagles are a totally different team now than they were playing back then earlier this year. But, all dreaming aside, I'll take the Bucks to Seattle, taking on Arizona. By the way, I just want to show a little love to Murray because he owns AT&T Stadium. Whether he's playing in college or playing in the pros, the dude's undefeated in AT&T Stadium. Just an aside there. But really, no reason to lose this game. Arizona needs to win. Lots of transitions going on record-wise. And with 11 wins, you could really up your seed, get into that 12 spot. So I'll take Arizona at home. What say you, Griff?
Yeah, I like Arizona as well. This will be the last time we see Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson together, most likely, right? I think there's going to be some type of split one way or another happening. End of an era, and I like the Cardinals.
New England at Miami.
It'll be, by the way, it'll be the last Cardinals victory of the year.
No way. No,
they're out in the first round.
Way. If they play the Cowboys, they're going to roll over the Cowboys. We saw what happened last time they played. Cowboys.
They're out in the first round.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. New England 10-6 again. They're in that 10-win range. They got to win here. And actually, last week, exclusive footage of Bill Belichick giggling on the sideline. I don't know if you saw that, but there was a giggling happen between him and Mac Jones. And I felt like Bill Belichick may actually be a human being. What do you think?
I don't think he is, but in this game, I will take something tells me to take the Dolphins in this game. I'll be honest. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the Dolphins in this game. Kind of mess up the Patriots, playoff chance. They're in the playoffs no matter what, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but maybe it'll mess up their seeding a little bit. I don't know. I like the Dolphins. That's all I know.
I'm going to take the safe bet and take the Patriots on the road. We talked about it, Griff. 8-8, 7-9, NFC South. The Nolan Saints, you need an L or a tie desperately here. Taking it to Atlanta, I mean, if you're Atlanta, why win? Get a better draft pick. Tank it, baby. You know what I'm saying? But what do you think the read is here?
I like the Falcons in this game. I think the Falcons are going to win this game. They've been okay this year. I mean, Arthur Smith has done a bang-up job with this team. I think he wants to go into the offseason with a W. I think he's going to, to prove that they have some momentum, have a decent what's their current record? What will the record be if they win this game?
8-9 if they win.
8-9, yeah. Solid season. 500 season, essentially, for Arthur Smith with just a depleted and terrible roster and with an aging quarterback. The guy's done wonders, and I like them to beat the Saints and end the Saints' playoff hopes. The Saints, Taysom Hill, that guy doesn't belong in the playoffs.
Playoffs? Well, we are who we thought he was or something. I mean, I think you're playing fan here, Griff. I got to be honest. I don't think there's a way that New Orleans loses this game. They have something to play for. Atlanta has nothing to play for, essentially. I'm going to take the Saints on the road, baby. And then, of course, 2 more games remain. The Jets, 4-12. Really nothing to play for. This team's always in just dire times. But they go against a Buffalo team. Again, they need a win bad to stay on top in the AFC East. But, Griff, what's your read? Any chance of an upset here for the Jets?
Nope, not happening. Buffalo's going to win.
I love it. Yeah, I'll take the Bills at home. By the way, updated Super Bowl picks here first before the playoffs start. So all you hacks on Twitter understand where I'm at here. Green Bay versus Buffalo, Super Bowl this year. It's happening. I'm put it down right now, man. Because both those teams they're so good. I love it. But yeah, I'll take the Bills at home. Chargers need a win. Vegas, they need a win. Where they're playing in Sin City, the battle of 9 and 7s. This is going to be an awesome Sunday night game. I'm super excited. I feel like it's not going to be very high scoring, and there's going to be a lot of hard hits and penalties, a lot of emotion on this game. And it's hard to tell who's going to win. Griff, I got to tell you, I believe in Justin Herbert. Even if he's on the road, he may not lift weights, but he sure does look a lot stronger than the jersey gives him credit for.
Yeah, I agree. So my understanding is if the Colts do what they're supposed to do against the Jags and win, then this game becomes a winner-take-all game, correct? That's my read on it. I think that's why they put it Sunday night, because loser goes home, basically.
Right. So as it stands right now in the AFC, the Colts are the 6th seed at 9 and 7. Chargers 7th seed at 9 and 7. But anything can happen, and it depends, like you said, on the earlier game. So they may be in a situation where their seeding alters before they even have a chance to lace up. So that's why I think this, and I agree with you, this is a perfect matchup for Sunday night. But even better than all these games, Griff, is the sage lyrical wisdom of one.
I like the Chargers in this game, by the way.
We ran out of time, Griff. You got to go pick up your kids, remember?
I do.
The one and only zombie Tom Petty.
I'll be the boy in the corduroy pants.
And you'll be the girl.
The high school.
Yeah, at the dance. I'll meet you at the dance. See, I know how it goes.